Donna Brazile went on Sirius XM radio and played the victim over the DNC leaks. Let's listen and then we'll break it down.
We love to fight. We live for a fight, if truth be told. Although we would rather not fight you, but if we have to fight you, we will fight you. But in all of my life, in the things I've fought, I have never fought a Russian military intelligence unit. And anyone who has ever been involved in politics knows that you go up against opponents. Sometimes they're Democratic because you're a Democrat and it's a primary. Sometimes it's Republican because it's a general election. But how many of you have ever experienced cyber warfare, cyber espionage? How many of you understand what a disinformation campaign? How many of you understand that when emails are sent and they're out of context and you just have content, how they can be weaponized to sow discard? Well, I can tell you so much about cyber warfare. The intended victim was not the men and women who work at the Democratic National Committee. The intended victim was Hillary Clinton, who was running for president of the United States. And the rest of us, me included, we're collateral damage. And how do you come to understand what that means in the context of what we call modern cyber warfare? Well, I have that experience now, and it's an experience that I hope to help others understand, because if this is the modern warfare that we all have to participate in, we all better get ready for it. And I'm grateful for those who stood by us and understood that it was warfare. I mean, for months, with the exception of the women sitting here and Tina, who's not here, but she's always with us in spirit. I mean, you would have thought I was crazy. I mean, when I would call Mignon, God bless her, and she didn't hang up on me, I had people who really thought I was going crazy. In fact, Zerlina, I stopped going on TV because everybody started saying, well, how do you know they're Russian? Well, God damn it, I know the difference between America and something that's foreign. And ain't nobody ever cussed me out in those kind of words because I don't even understand those words because I can cuss you back. This was a massive campaign. And when you see people like former Vice President Dick Cheney. I've never agreed with Dick Cheney in my entire life. Yeah. But when he said this was an act of war, I have to agree with the former Vice President. It was an act of war. And we better understand the ramifications. Because if they can take down a woman of stature like Hillary Clinton with bogus stuff, and then you have to disprove the negative to make it somehow or another truthful. You cannot. And when the national media, and listen to me, my friends, when the national media is complicit also and carrying on the fake narrative, the fake emails, the spoofing.
Sweet Jesus. How lost are the corporate Democrats where all they know how to do is play the victim over what happened with the DNC leaks. And now they're doing the old Republican trick of, instead of discussing the substance of the leaks, all they do is obsess over the fact that there were leaks. They go, oh, there were leaks. There were leaks. It's a crime. It was a crime to do the leaks. This is exactly what people said about Edward Snowden. When Edward Snowden released the information that the NSA is spying on all of us and collecting all of our metadata, and it's a dragnet, and they're not doing it with specific warrants like is mandated in the Constitution. The establishment screamed, "What do you mean? No, this traitor. He's a traitor. This is treasonous, and it's not good that there are these leaks. Oh my God, there were leaks. What a cyber crime. It was a crime. There was a crime done here. And the journalists who reported on it, tut, let me tell you something. You're aiding and abetting the enemy, and that's what you're doing. And don't actually discuss what's in the leaks. Don't discuss what's in the leaks because we can't defend that on the substance. So let's just obsess over the fact that there were leaks and say, oh my God, there's been an egregious crime done to us. No, Donna, that trick does not work anymore. This is now the corporate Democrats' Waterloo. That's what this is. They're just going down, there were leaks, and oh my God, she literally says Hillary is the victim. Well, how about the fact that in the leaks, we learned that from day one, the DNC biased the primary against Bernie Sanders, propped up Hillary Clinton. By the way, they also propped up Donald Trump on the Republican side and tried to make him out to be a bigger figure than he was at the time because they wanted to run against him in the general because they thought he was easily beatable. So they propped up the candidate who couldn't beat him, propped up the shitty candidate on the other side, and then they turn around and blame the so-called Bernie bros and blame the Russian government when their plan blows up. Guys, remember what we learned in the leaks. Donna Brazile gave questions to Hillary Clinton before the debates, tipping the scales against Bernie Sanders. Hey, here are the questions. Come up with your answers so you know they're smooth and you know they're going to go over well, and you can test them behind the scenes before you're on the spot at the debate. She was caught cheating at the debates with Hillary Clinton. And now she's out there saying, Hillary's a victim, I'm a victim. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. By the way, imagine the DNC email leaks came out and there was nothing there. That could have happened. It could have been the case that you guys actually follow all the rules, are perfectly legitimate actors. You don't play dirty, gross politics. It could have been that, hey, Hillary Clinton, turns out we saw the DNC email leaks and Donna Brazile and Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton, turns out they did nothing wrong. And turns out they were being honest when they said, we're not biasing this against Bernie Sanders. And it turns out they were being honest. Hillary's honest when she says, no, I'm actually going to fight Wall Street and I'm actually going to stand up for the people. But we learned the exact opposite, and they don't want you to discuss that. They want Russia. Oh my God, blame Russia, and let's never talk about the fact that we were caught fucking red-handed biasing it against Bernie Sanders. And furthermore, remember, we got some of Hillary's speech transcripts to Wall Street. And for example, one of the things she said in there is, I would like totally open trade borders. So in other words, put NAFTA and TPP on steroids, and let's put the outsourcing in hyperdrive, and wouldn't that be lovely? Because all of us elitists will make more money, and I'll look out for you because you give me campaign contributions. Well, the voters saw that and they said, how about fuck no? And that's one of the reasons why the Rust Belt went against her, because Trump was more populist on trade. At least he sounded like it. Him governing is a totally different thing. But at least he campaigned in a more populist way. And people went, okay, well, I guess fuck Hillary and we're going to go for Trump. I mean, she's going to give us NAFTA on steroids. Furthermore, she said in one of her speeches, she was talking about how victimized the rich were and how there's this strain of bigotry against the rich. Leave the rich alone. Why are you so mean to them by pointing out that the ones on Wall Street rigged the system against the little guy and then got bailed out when they made their own shitty decisions? Why are you discussing that? That's so impolite in our elite circles. So it's leaked that she feels like the rich are victimized. She wants to outsource more. And now they're like, whoa, I can't believe that you would be so rude as to discuss what is actually in the leaks, what we learned, how they tried to hide the debates so that Bernie couldn't catch up in the polls, how they literally changed the voting times in some pro-Bernie districts in some states, how they celebrated closed primaries even though they knew fewer people would be able to vote because, hey, Hillary has a better chance of winning when it's just the Democrats and it's not more millennials and independents who come to vote. We learned all these, they atheist shamed Bernie in the Midwest because they tried to give Hillary an advantage because Bernie was polling so well in the Midwest. They said, I don't know, break out the shitty hacky attacks, just shame him for being an atheist and try to play up her faith. We learned all these things about how the sausage is made and how they tip the scales against him. And then, lo and behold, they get angry when you try to discuss that and they just want to deflect and talk about Russia. Debbie Wasserman Schultz in those emails berated MSNBC hosts on Morning Joe, of all people, the most establishment of all shows, and said to them, I don't like the way you're talking about me and Hillary. Maybe I go to your boss. Maybe I go to your boss and I talk to him. And we get some stuff accomplished here. So she's basically threatening their jobs for being too tough on her and Hillary. We learn about this, and then Donna Brazile does not want to talk about any of that because she can't defend it on the substance. That's why with Jordan Sheridan at TYT, he questioned Donna Brazile on, what the fact that she gave the questions in advance to Hillary Clinton, and she like a fucking deer in headlights. Well, sir, I hope that you read the emails when you get your facts. He's like, I did read the emails. That's why I'm asking this question. She's like, well, Russia. Ooga booga, Russia. Time to run away. And then she goes out there, Hillary's the victim. And then I love the words she's using, too, because, again, trying to play, this was cyber warfare, cyber espionage, a disinformation campaign, Russian military intelligence. And then she goes on to say, I agree with Dick Cheney. She drops the cyber part of warfare and she says, this is warfare. It's an act of war. It's an act of war. So how do you respond to that? Donna, what's the proper response when somebody declares war on you? What's the proper response? You know what the answer is, right? We declare war back. We go to war. War. This is how insane the corporate Democrats have become because they lost their mind over Hillary losing to Trump. They don't want to take any responsibility for what was in the emails and how fucked up they acted behind the scenes and how corrupt they are. No responsibility, no looking in the mirror, no reforming. Blame everybody else. Blame the Bernie bros, blame Jill Stein, blame Gary Johnson, blame everybody, say everybody's racist and sexist and xenophobic. Don't change anything about us. We're perfect little snowflakes. But Russia, they're the biggest culprits. And by the way, I always have to point this out. Our intelligence agencies say, well, it was Russia. Okay, our intelligence agencies also said, we're not spying on everybody. What do you mean? We're not spying on anybody. We're not collecting metadata on everybody in the U.S. Are you crazy? Conspiracy theorists? We're not torturing. You think we're torturing? We're not torturing anyone. I don't know. We didn't fucking topple third world governments to put in fascist puppets for our corporations. So the same intelligence agencies that say that, the same intelligence agencies that said, Saddam has weapons of mass destruction. He was responsible for 9/11. The same ones that said that, the Democrats were always skeptical of them. Now that they're saying Russia, they're like, yes, Russia. How can anybody disagree with our beloved intelligence agencies? Wait, what? That's fucking crazy. And guess what? WikiLeaks says the opposite. Julian Assange swears up and down, I didn't get this from Russia. The DNC leaks I did not get from Russia. I didn't get them from Russia. Who do you trust? Now, look, I'm going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt here and say I'm agnostic. I don't know. But let's just say WikiLeaks actually has a track record of being correct about stuff and going after Democrats and Republicans, just trying to bring transparency to people in government. That's what they do. So they have a much better track record than the fucking CIA and our intelligence agencies. But partisan Democrats, nope, I know it's Russia. No, you don't. You have no fucking clue. You have none whatsoever. But it's convenient for my narrative, so Russia. So I always have to add that caveat that they may not have even done it. And even if they did it, sit down. Now here comes the controversial part. Even if they did it, the American people had a right to see what the DNC was doing anyway. This is transparency for people in power, which is what is desperately needed. We need more of it. I wish we got the RNC emails. I wish we got all those powerful people in government who are making decisions that fuck over you in your life. I want to see exactly what the fuck they're doing so we can change it and we can reform it. Edward Snowden did technically break the law by giving out that information. But guess what? He was actually pointing out how the government is also breaking the law, and in fact, they're acting in an unconstitutional way. So yeah, hey, oh my goodness, you're not allowed to release these emails on the DNC. But guess what? It was for the greater good because we learned just how corrupt they are, just how sleazy they are, just how much they don't care about the issues or the people, and just how much they're trying to prop up their own candidate so that they're all jockeying for positions of power in Washington. So Donna Brazile is off her rocker, still won't accept any responsibility. Any. And won't let Hillary accept any responsibility for losing the election and for what was in those emails. She doesn't say a goddamn word about what's in those emails, just Russia. We've been attacked. This is war. War was declared on us by Russia. And everything, the cherry on top of all this is their last argument, their implied argument isn't just, hey, Russia. Don't talk about what's in the leaks. Oh my God, there were leaks. Blame Russia. But it's also an act of war. And what does that mean? Well, we got to go to war back. So don't tell me the Democrats haven't moved to the neocon position on Russia. They're literally agreeing with Dick Cheney. Literally. The neocon's neocon. They're literally saying, I haven't agreed with them on anything. I agree with them on this. How fucking convenient. And they even bother to say the national media is complicit. Complicit? There was a crime committed by Russia. It was warfare, and the U.S. media is complicit in it. What next, Donna? What do you want to lock up the journalists who report the facts about what was in those leaks? Is that what you want to do? The corporate Democrats' transition to full neocon is complete.